I think it's special to go out on the field and kind of get a curtain call. So I'm just glad it happened the way it did, and the fans certainly recognized what was going on.
What can you say about Marcus's performance today?
You know, I might coach for a long time and never be around another player as special as him. Those guys heated us up and blitzed on every play, and you blitz someone like Marcus, he's going to make you pay. He's the best player in college football, and I just feel privileged to have worked with him and watch him play.
When you look at coming up on the Civil War, looking back on last year, I mean, you came into that game hurt, and you were still able to mount that last drive. I mean, how special was that?
Well, I don't know if I could pick one thing out and point to and say Marcus did that special. His whole career has been special. Some of the things he's done here, Oregon fans might not see it again. And I think we're all lucky to have watched him. I'm going to cherish every moment that I have around him, but he never ceases to amaze us at the things he does on the field.
As the regular season winds down, do you guys feel like you have to show off to the selection committee?
Last thing on was the rankings. We were focused on this game. I think that played out and showed itself by how our kids played. We're not going to worry about anything else either other than Oregon State now. So we'll get in here early tomorrow and start preparing for our rival.
Coach, you guys were able to get it done on both sides of the ball, pretty much throwing the ball, running the ball, and got yourself pretty wide open on these touchdowns there. Was that something you saw when you were game planning that you could take advantage of, or was that just a product of execution?
We had some things schemed to try to take some shots on them. I thought we did a good job of setting those up so that we could take the shots. But our guys still have to execute that. Colorado came with a game plan. They were going to be aggressive. They came after us with some blitzes. They had a lot of guys up in the line of scrimmage trying to be aggressive against our run game. And inevitably, if you do that, there's going to be some chances to get people running by some DB.
What can you say about Royce Freeman, the first freshman rushed over 1,000 yards? What has he meant to you this season?
No, I didn't realize that. We've been saying from day one when Royce got here that he was different. He came in mature physically, mature mentally, mature emotionally. He's going to have a special career, and he's doing it right now.
Some changes to the offensive line today. How did you think they performed with the slightly changed group?
Well, I think we had one sack. Thought we ran the ball well, so it's hard to tell individually on the offensive line until you watch the tape. But those guys are answering the bell. Every time we're missing a guy, somebody else steps up and plays well. So the good thing about that is we have a lot of guys with some playing experience and a lot of guys that are battle tested. So we got some depth going forward.
Was that an emotional deal for you when Marcus came out of the game in the last time and you hugged Jeff and came off? Was that emotional for you?
Well, I still get to spend a lot of time around him before this thing's all done. I told him before the game I'm not going to get mushy with him until we're all through. But he has a special place in my heart and my life, and he makes a difference in everybody's life that he's around because he's such a special kid. He makes everybody around him better.
What kind of advice do you give him as a national championship winning quarterback yourself? What do you give advice to him on how to carry himself going forward here?
I think the biggest piece of advice I've ever given him was not to let losses wreck you. A couple years ago when we lost to Stanford, I thought we had the best team in the country, and we dropped one. And if football is the most important thing in your life, and your happiness is riding on wins and losses, then inevitably you're going to come on some tough times. And I think that's played out this year. We lost one early, and a lot of people jumped off the Oregon Duck bandwagon. And because our team didn't let them affect it like maybe it had in the past, we were able to respond and bounce back and put ourselves in a really good position. So he and I talk about big picture things all the time, but I think that's one of the lessons everyone has to learn.
When it's coming down to the third quarter, everything Marcus is coming out pretty soon. Are you calling plays, maybe trying to get him one more score, one more anything for the option crowd?
Yeah, in the third quarter, we were just trying to score again to put the game away. Then when we got the ball back early in the fourth, we thought it'd be a good tribute to Marcus to let him run one more play. And watching him run off the field is a special moment. He's done so many great things on that field that I think he deserves that.
Is there a play that he's made in the course of his career that will maybe be preeminent in your recollections of him? Maybe one still to come, you might think, but at this point.
Yeah, I hope his best play is still to come. He just executes everything. these guys came in here blitzing the heck out of us, and he had to be on his game to get the ball out where it needed to go, and he did it every time. That's just what we're kind of spoiled with him. That we're used to him doing the right thing with the ball. It'd be hard to pick one play, but as a career,
He's such a threat. Marcus is such a threat running the ball. Are you ever hesitant to run him, even though he's such a weapon doing so?
well, we limit the number of plays we design for him to run because in our offense, reading people and reading defensive ends on read zone, he's going to get some carries, and that played out again today. He's also going to take off occasionally and run it when we call pass plays. So he's such a weapon with his legs that we don't want him carrying a bunch. So those plays inevitably will happen. We just don't try to design them.
Just got a lot of focus today on the guys playing their last home game here. But you also got a couple of true freshmen. Memories of the seniors, but also being excited about the future of what you've got with some of the young guys.
You know, it's weird. It seems like every year I'm here, I feel like we're young. But almost all of our skill players that are making plays, with the exception of Keenan Lowe, are underclassmen. Everybody but Jake Fisher and Hamani on the offensive line is young and underclassmen, so we're going to miss the heck out of those guys. They've been ultimate teammates and ultimate players here, but we got a lot of reason to look forward to the future.
What about the play at Nelson tonight? You know, he only had 5 catches coming in, but had a couple of big plays for you. Just another piece to the offense?
Yeah, Charles is a special player. He's been the best special teams player on our team and probably in the conference all year. Special player with the talent that he has. He's extremely tough for his size. We kind of moved him to the slot. We're going to expect Byron to play in the backfield a little bit with Thomas being out this week, so he got a little more run out there, and he took advantage of it.
Scott, you guys have potentially 4 more games left. You know, everyone's getting sentimental tonight. You know, the last 1 game and stuff. When it comes to Marcus, was this a moment for you, seeing him walk off that last time?
Well, he deserves all the recognition that he can get. He never asked for it or wanted himself, but it's awesome to see him recognized. But I told him before the game, I'm not gonna get mushy with you tonight. We got too much left to do. So, you know, we're gonna have plenty of chance to work together before this is all done.
What did you think of that moment? I thought it was a really classy move by Mark to allow everyone to.
Mark's a really smart guy, and you know, when I was a senior, Tom Osborne did the same thing for me in my last game. Put me in, I handed the ball off once and ran off the field, and I certainly haven't had 1/10 of the career that Marcus has had, but I still remember that moment, and I'm glad that Marcus is going to have the same thing.
So that's a special moment.